All right, guys. Yeah, we're almost in the spot I want to be to start today off. Just try to catch some smallmouth. Oh, try to keep an eye on you guys. We will be hitting the lily pads a little bit later. That's about an hour boat ride in my boat. So we're going with a square bill, one that I painted. It's sort of a shimmering lavender. Looks metal, but it's not. See what we can pick up with this one. Every cast you throw, you think you're going to get it. You have to play it like that. You never know. I'm using a medium light rod, spinning rod combo with my Piscifun Carbon X reel. I happen to really like this reel for now. See how it stands up to all my fishing. It's supposed to be a really good reel. It's one of the most expensive. So I bought it for lots of reasons, and it's got a fast gear ratio. And made of carbon fiber completely. Well, almost gearing and stuff isn't. Makes it very light on this carbon fiber rod. I would highly recommend you guys look at Cajun rods. I have another rods coming in this week. There's a medium heavy. That'll be my frogging rod. My frogging rod. We're going to try a new frog today, which I'm kind of excited about. I have a headache. Well, that's no fun. Headaches are no fun. Yeah. It is a little early on the West Coast. I like to be first in, last off type of thing on my one day that I get to do it. It's Wednesdays. Good reaction. Water 68 degrees. That means it's, oh, this one wound up on itself. It's turned itself into a water plopper. Okay, there you go. It should be a good topwater day. Water warm up to 70 or so. Finally. We can get a hit on this. So I'm going to switch it over to another lure. We could try. I think we could, not on the top. I'm going to add a tail spinner to this one. I get good results with adding a tail spinner to my baits. It increases hookup chances by at least 2 times. Imagine having the same bait. The same bait. Hey, good morning, Leon. Yeah, imagine having the same bait and just getting twice the effectiveness. From it by just adding a tail spinner. Well, that's what ends up happening. We're just trying to get a smallmouth right here before we head over to the largemouth areas. I'm trying to, Leon. Some days it's good, some hours are better, some are not. I've suffered PTSD since, the first time I died. And I think that's just compounding itself. 6 times in 7 years is that's just a lot. Oh, is that something? No, I don't think so. It's kind of a reverse hit. I had slack all of a sudden. It was weird. Like a fish pushed it. Yeah, it's 2 miles that way to the lily pads. 2 miles. I hope you're doing well too, Leo. Oop, one chased it. Okay. It's decent size too. Maybe 1.5 pounds. Always a good sign, huh? Work this area a little bit. See if we can't get a nice sized smallmouth. They fight really good. They're best fighting fish in the lake. Best fighting fish in the lake. Another nickname is Smalley, and you think, okay, well, but they're not small. They're just mouths are small. Because I saw one chasing, sort of working with. They do swim away. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. We got one. It's amazing. You add a tail spinner to these things, and you just get them. It's a largemouth. That could have got you, huh? Didn't it? All right. So anyway, that. Where did you go? There you go. There you go. Largemouth. So there you go. Thanks, Carl. How are you? All right, let's get another one. Back to extend my net. There we go. Just in case I get it really big. That was only about a 1-pounder. Something about adding a tail spinner. Yeah, it's just an amazing. People wonder why my baits run $15. It's usually because they're jointed or they're tail spinners, but it really does make a big difference. Love this combo. Love this combo. Let's see if there's another bass over there. I always try to get up right at sunset or sunrise. It's always the best bite time. Now there's somebody said there's lily pads up there on the North Shore. We should go explore. We could explore today. So go to the Southern Shore, which is 2 miles away. That's only half a mile away. Some little fishes under us, probably crappie. Hey, Miss Southern Belle. Yeah, I hope you're well too, my friend. It is a gorgeous morning. Water 68. It's about 161 degrees above the water. Really is very pretty. All right. Oh. I was just bringing it up and the smallmouth hit it right there. Oh my God. I saw him coming up and I paused it and he hit it, but he didn't stay on the hook. Silly old fish. Silly fish. Let's do a stop and start retrieve. Let's see if they like it better that way. Because he hit it when I stopped it. So sometimes a brief momentary pause. Just going to vary the speed a little bit. We're doing some jerking, twitching, and some pausing on it. But I mean, the pause is like a fraction of a second. Let's see if I could get one to bind it on the pause. That was a smallmouth. It was about a 3/4 of a pound. smallmouth. No fun when they hit them right at the boat, though. There's no play, fight to it. You kind of want that fight, to last longer than a half a second. You know what I mean, jelly beans? Fish around this pontoon boat. Hopefully I don't get their mooring buoy. Highway. Find no, they're chasing it. Maybe do a little bit more of a pause to it. It's like a third of a second. Speed. Well, Quinn, good morning. Guan. Just a pretty day out on the lake. That's what it is. Let's see if we can get you a better angle. We're going to do a little bit of trolling up to the northern part of the lake. We're going to do a little exploring. That's what we're going to do. So, turn off. I don't think I need my lights on. Such a pretty morning, isn't it? I'm sticking on a tree. Well, uh, as we troll, we'll end up catching a few things. We're gonna head up. We're gonna do some topwater fishing right now. Head up to Aspen because I mean it's easy topwater fishing. I really want to try this new frog. So, and with a frog, it's all about the angle of the hook and the softness of the plastic. It really is. And you just want to, fishing with plastics is very, very difficult for topwater frog and stuff like that because your instinct when you feel that hit or watch it is to pull and to set that hook. These are large. Right when they hit it, you you pull it right out of their mouth. So you have to like take a breath and then set the hook. That 1 or 2 second delay that you do in order to set you in order to set that hook is very, very important. Um, and you basically get them on the dive down. And you basically get them on the dive down so you can get the hook in their mouth. Basically, we're going to hug the shoreline here at about 15 feet, 16 feet right now, and run this lure, this lure will go down about 6 feet at this speed and the way that will kick back. So we're just, we're 10 feet above bottom, 6 feet below surface. Got a lot of flash to it. It's really a very pretty lure that I painted. That's white and blue. The lure is, and some gold or browns. And then, of course, the tailspin, which adds a lot of flash and elongates the lure. So it almost doubles the size of the lure. And by doing that, it has a swim action and it looks like a larger fish. So typically, what you would get is larger fishes in it. Okay. 2.5 miles. That's what we're that's what we're trolling at right now. 2.5 miles an hour. We're passing over a few fish. Nothing dramatic. Like a straggler here, so regular, probably bass. I don't know. Some of them are really small, so like probably crappie or perch. We get a lot of perch, but perch do like to hug the bottom. But if you ever come out here and you want to just catch fish with the kids, just throw a worm and fish 1 foot off the bottom, and that'll work. 1 foot off bottom with a worm, they'll catch fish all day long. It's exciting for them. Uh, if you want to catch a crappie, which is a better tasting fish, easier to clean and stuff, um, go about 6 feet down. They're sort of in the middle of the water column, and the crappie like to swim in a suspended area. So now, right now, because the water is so warm, the trout are deep. If I went out there to 50 feet, we'd see a ton of them at about 30 feet. Um, and then the kokanee are deeper than that. So salmon. Uh, oh, cool. Thanks, Carl. Oh, here we go. Here we go. They always fight better. Yeah, nothing to brag about, but there you go. About a half a pound. They do fight so much bigger than they are. They're fantastic. All right. I mean, that's why I like catching. So, all right, let's get this guy out here again. Go catch another one. So you can get a bigger one. What was I saying? We were talking about the characteristics of fish, and when you see them down here in the fish finder, depending on depths, the topography, on the bottom of the lake, with experience, it'll teach you the likelihood of what species it is that we see on our fish finder. When they hit, each fish sort of has a personality in the way they fight. And, it's sort of like that one. I mean, he just had more fight in him than a largemouth. Even at a half a pound, he was a good fighter. And I don't know if they're just more muscular, they're just more ornery, or what they are, because largemouth bass can be really good fight. I mean, they're fantastic fighters. But pound for pound, a smallmouth can kick it. I mean, if they had a boxing match, I don't know how that would happen. But pound for pound, a smallie would just kill a largemouth. I mean, they just got more muscle. Oh, something else. Another great thing that we're seeing right now. We're not You're not actually feeling it like I am. But I added a rudder, a bullnose rudder to this boat. And typically, one thing about a pontoon boat is there's no keel. And so they drift and to try to get a straight line out of them. Like right now, I've got no hand on the motor and we're going straight. And that rudder makes a huge difference. Um, I mean, there are certain things that you add immediately for a boat, and things like a motor and a good battery. But you also want a steering mechanism, which is a rudder. And so I got a rudder, and it's so cool. It is so cool. So now, basically, I mean, besides the current moving us a little bit, but other than that, the boat is doing a really good job with this new rudder. So we're at 8.5 feet. You need to get out here a little bit deeper. You need to get out here to a good 12, 14 feet, which is pretty far from the shore. We're in each arm of this lake is very, very shallow. Um, so even if I went across the lake at this point, we would only get to about 10 feet or so. So we're not, don't really, but we're heading up to this point right here, which is fantastic because there's a dip in the landscape there with several shelves. And when you fish, you want to see sort of a uneven bottom to a lake or to your area. And by doing that, what ends up happening is that fish will move down off of this little drop so they can ambush other fish that come unwittingly above them. And so by doing that, and that's another. Oh, here we go. We got another one. We got another one. All right, here we go. I guess I think it's a largemouth. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, this was a smallie. Oh, it is a smallie, but it's a small smallie. It's a little smallie. All right. Anyway, it's a little smallie. But you know what? Even for this guy's size, he's a good little fighter. Made me think he was a largemouth. So when you're fishing, you want to look. I mean, we fish towards shore to fish those drop-offs, is what we do, in order to bring our bait across the the landscape as it comes down. Now, that's why boat fishing is more successful than shore fishing. Shore fishing, you do the opposite, and it just doesn't work as well because, I mean, the fish like to ambush. I mean, that's just what they don't like. They like surprises, and uh, and that's why, if you take the same shore and you come off the shore 100 feet and cast towards the shore as opposed to your buddy who's on the beach, you're going to catch more fish than he is if you're fishing the exact same way. Because that's what there's a bite. Come on, come on, you can do it. The bite. There's another. Oh no, no fish. There might be a tiny baby fish on it. An aggressive little fish. It's the baby fish. Probably. Sometimes these little small largemouths have, their stomachs are bigger than their bite. Nope. We are probably touching bottom. Looks like we're what 5 feet, so that's what we were doing. We were touching bottom. So in order to keep myself from touching bottom, because we're at like 4, 5 feet of water here, we're going to lift the tip of my rod up, and that will reduce the the dive of my bait. Also, by reducing speed or touching bottom still. So we're going to reduce speed a little bit. By reducing speed and lifting the tip, we adjust the height of the depth of the dive. Now we're coming over to one of my favorite spots. I got a buddy that's put into the water too over there. Maybe. Don't know if that's Dario. So we're coming up to this point, which I really love. We'll probably anchor over here and work the point a little bit. Um, Again, because it has multiple tiers to the bottom of the lake with some ospreys above us. Probably Mike the Osprey. Might be the one I saved. You guys got to see that video. It was a beautiful video. I got to hold an eagle in my hands and save it. I didn't get a video of him flying off, but he did. You just didn't know when that was going to happen. It took a couple hours for him to recover. So we're almost at the point. Another 75 yards or so. And we're just sort of casually trolling this in order to, yeah, that's fine. More people know me than I know them at this late. Oh, 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 oh. Come on. You can do it. You ever talk to your fishing line? I've got some grass. That's another thing. Over here, we got more grass. Yeah, we so what we're going to do, we're going to switch. I'm going to switch over to my topwater because I just love topwater fishing. And if any one of you have never caught anything off the top water, then you're just missing out, I guess. So what we're going to do, we're going to go with one of my favorite baits. It's called a spook or a walking bait. Yeah. For this one, I actually switched to a different rod. So this is the walking bait. It's called a Dogma by 6 Cents. You have to find this blank someplace so I can paint a few. What ends up happening is that I'm really working the top water on this one. I'm twitching, twitch, twitch, twitch. And what ends up happening is that the bait, it looks like a fish floundering on the top of the water. And so much action. And it pops. And it just gets so much attention by something underneath. We need to set the anchor. Oh, there's one that jumped right there. Troll a little bit. Let's move that anchor, get more of an angle. The bottom's real soft. So we'll probably be dragging that. All right, so let's get this thing out there. There's just little baby fish. They like to jump and stuff. We could use this other rod and use a wake bait. Sort of at the wrong angle for me. I like to flip it to my right. And you just walk it. It just goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth on the water. Each little twitch causes it to jump and move. And it simulates a dying fish. And fish are opportunists. But one thing about a walking bait, they do foul up a lot because you've got so much action on it. All right. They cast them out too, by the way. Keep your tip up to try to get the nose up and keep the bait above the water. Keep it on it. You'll usually see a wake right behind the bait, right before the fish hits it. Sort of like a shark. There's a lot of vegetation here. So fishing above the vegetation on top of the water is great. You just don't foul up. You just keep that S motion on top of the water going with little twitches. It really works your wrist. Spooks work your wrist. And another reason why you go with a really light rod system. All right. So we're going to switch over to my other rod here. And we're going to go with a wake bait. My wake baits work pretty darn well. I love, it's real simple. The wake bait is very, very simple. And to do. And I could give this to a kid and they'll catch a topwater by just understanding retrieve speeds, action, just just a few minor lessons, and they get it. So this is our wake bait. I painted it as a German brown. Browns and golds work really good in our lake, as they do in many, many lakes, but we're just going to throw this out there. And one thing about this, you really don't want to retrieve it too fast. You want it fast enough to create a wake, and it wobbles really good. We're watching it and watching it. Do you have a headache? I hate my headache. Don't you just hate headaches? Really don't like headaches. It is a really good speed. This is sort of like if you were to drive a stick. This is like second gear. All right. I was catching topwater over here the other day. The water was a little bit cooler. Water's warming up. Oh, oh, one jumped on it. I missed him. Oh, I missed him. Look at him. He wasn't a very big one. But look at him. Oh, there we go. Oh, I missed. Oh, he came off. He came off. He came off. He hit it. I took him out of the water, and then it popped out of his mouth. Oh, come on. Come on. I saw a wake. It's so much fun. Because you get to see the action of the fish from beginning to end. Typically, when you're fishing underwater, you don't get to see the hit. Well, you don't. So you get to see it from beginning to end here. And that just makes it more exciting. When topwater starts to hit, you just love it. So we're just working this. We're going to get more fish up here. This is off the point. Where I got those hits. In the second gear, there's no rushing this particular wake bait. Wake baits, you don't really rush them because they have really good motion the way they are. Unlike a spook, you're always working it. Yeah, this one is it's a steady retrieve. Oh, there. Oh, dang it! I missed him. Dang it! He jumped right out of the water and hit it. Ah, all right. Get him. We get him. There. All right. We're trying to get you guys over to see where you can maybe see. I think I found a good spot here because I've gotten a few jumps, blow ups. We call them blow ups. I don't know how I missed that guy. I set the hook right when I. Oh, there he goes. There's a little guy. Oh, he's just a little guy. Yeah, all right. He's a little guy. He went out of the boat. He's just a baby bass. Just a baby. Let's see if we can get something bigger. I do love topwater blow. Oh, there he is. Oh, there goes a little blow up. There, there. Come on. There's bass fishing or trout fishing. Those guys. They got their flashers on. Yeah, they go deep. They go deep. They'll find tons of them. Let me see if I can get a top water blow up in the camera frame. Okay, so we're in camera frame right now. You're right. We're actually almost dead center. Let's see, try to get one to blow up right on camera. Oh, oh, there we go. All right, it didn't blow up, but we got a little guy. Another baby bass. I know. I know. I know. Just a little baby bass. All right. Voila. Just a little baby bass. You know, where there's babies, their parents. So I'm sorry you didn't blow up on the water. You sort of got it from underneath. So, okay, let's see if we can get a nice blow up for you guys on camera. Oh, there. That was a blow up. I don't know if you guys saw that. Just a little guy, though. came up behind it. It was like a mini blow up. A little mini blow up. Like a pop. And again, you don't want to rush this. I mean, just let the fish come to you. You don't need to rush. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera to the right so we can hopefully. I'm not going to be able to see it though. Probably nothing but net. Okay, let's get the net up. All right. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to fish out here. And you'll see probably a bigger blow up. Or a blow up. Here we go. I feel good about it. I always feel good. Every cast feels good. You don't get that in a sport too often. And I played football. Some plays were meant for 2 yards and some plays were meant for bigger. Oh, did you see the fish jump out there? He broke water. He jumped out there. If we stay on this line, I think we can catch a nice size one because that was about 3/4 pound one that jumped. Let's see if we can get his attention again. Probably center frame. Oh, he jumped again out there. Let's see if I can get out there too. It's way. Oh, that's a good cast. Okay, that's right on top of him. Let's see if we can get his attention. We cast it right on top of him. He's breaking what? Top. He's breaking the surface. I know it's hard to see the wake, the bait with the ripples of the lake right now. Try to watch it where it lands and try to pretend you see it because when a good blow up happens, you'll see it. We've actually caught quite a few fish already. Nothing really to brag about. A couple smallmouths, a number of largemouths. Half a dozen or so. Not bad for starting out. This is my time of year. Just starting. Cast a little farther, deeper. Well, it's not really too deep. Like I said, it's only about 6 feet deep. Yeah, it's just this. The beautiful part about fishing is, oh, there we go, there we go, there we go, is the suspense. just wondering when is it gonna happen? You know? And that is the fun part about fishing. Just not knowing. It's nice and warm, It's just a little guy. The fish are warm because the water's so warm. All right, there, let's go. All right, let's get another one. And another, and another, and another. God, I love topwater fishing. Topwater fishing's the best. Just even with a little fish, it's fun to watch them jump up and hit it. Right. Dude, I'm going to cast over to that spot. I just see that a fish or a number of fish jumping out of the water way over there to my left a little bit. All right, that's right in front of them. Oh, there we go. We got one. All right, there we go. Not a big one, but we're going to surf them in. And keep your eyes peeled for action on the water and stuff, I mean, it's just trying not to hook myself like I did last week. Anyway, there he is. He's upside down. Swim away. Swim away a little bit. There you go. All right. Sometimes you got to nudge them along a little bit. There's no reason why you can't recover from that. Kind of fun, huh? Nothing big, though. It's kind of fun. I love this stuff. Top water. That's a good top water. We should just stick with top water. Unless we're trolling. I'll catch one more over here, and then we're going to move just a little farther. There's some heavy vegetation and shallows right next to us, right here. This is the drop offs, sort of like tiered bottom. Oh, I saw one, but he didn't break water. All right, so we're going to pull up anchor, and we're going to move just a little bit. I mean, we're really not going to move very far. Another nice thing about knowing your length is, you know, is just, let's see, I miss everybody. Yeah, they are. Stitch it. Okay, so we're just moving over to a more vegetated area and shallower. So a lot of times, we will get a nice size bass hiding out in this area. I've got smallies over here too. So we're doing pretty good for arm. That's the Aspen ramp over here. This little, people always ask me, where's a good place to fit? And I always send them over here. I always send them over here. Because there's so many fish in this area. I mean, people catch fish all the time. No, they're not thinking we have big usually, but you can if you're big enough. We put ourselves in the middle here. Then I'm not even, I'll tell you that. You can look at that spot. gonna drag the anchor a bit. Nice. So, yeah, you guys are. All right, so let's get a good angle for you guys. That's not a good angle. You see my other rods. All right. That's not a bad angle because we're going to fish that area right there. So again, it's only about 3 feet deep here, but it's all vegetation below it. I mean, there's so much stuff. And where there's grass, there's bass. We're just going to work this topwater wake bait. It's one of my favorite wake baits. As you guys have already noticed, it works really, really well. Get your a little bit downturned angle on your camera there. You don't care about the trees, you want to see the water. There's a nice little hole right there too. I like to fish it. Right. See, and that's another nice thing about it's fouled up a bit. Again, knowing your lake as well as you do. Right there. There's a hole just coming up in front of it. Or in front of the floaty to the right. A lot of baits in the water. Fish over to the left here. Fish to the left. To the left, to the left, to the left, to the left, left. Yeah, trying to get you guys so you guys see what I'm catching when I catch it. Oh, there we go. We got one. We got one. We got another one. A little bigger than the babies. Oh, he dove on me. Look at that, a punk. He's just a little guy. Well, like I said, a little bigger than the babies we can catch him. All right. I'll get it out of you. We'll go back. Ta-da! Give him a kiss and send him free. No hard feelings. Again, tons of vegetation. I mean, you don't know if it's going to be a 2 or 3 pounder hitting it or a little 3rd pounder hitting. Oh, there's one jumped coming up. Let's see if he hits it. Oh, there we go. Another one hit it. Another smallie, smallmouth. Oh, it's a largemouth. It's a small largemouth. We're just surf them in. Actually, about a half a pound, maybe. Yeah, didn't have as much fight as the little guys did. He really does like to torture me in my hand. So anyway, there's that guy. Kiss, and off he goes. We love topwater. Lots of topwater. All right, let's get another one. Watch the blow up. Watch the blow up. Come on. There's a lot, like I said, there's always a bunch of fish in this little area. This is one of the best fishing holes in the lake. And people, I mean, a lot of people do fish it. But when they come to the marina, because this is a half-mile away, they don't want to walk over here. It's worth it though. Makes it a whole lot more fun when you're catching fish, even if they're small ones. Right? Oh, there's a wake right in front of us, actually. I love this combo. Sorry about the waves. Y'all can do it. It'll be interesting. We can try a frog here. See what hits it. This new frog that I got on my DHT Dark Horse Tackle box. We're going to use it over there, but really want to see its hookup ratio. The plastic seems really good. And then they sort of recessed the hooks with a mold. It's really actually really ingenious if it works. If it works, it should be the only frog you guys fish with. If it doesn't work, then keep try and do what you're always doing. I have a new spin tail I want to try. We could throw that on here. Like I said, this wake bait is my favorite wake bait, so it just gets so many fish. I have no idea how many fish we've caught so far. 10? I don't know. People always ask me, how'd you do this morning? I said, I just, there we go. Oh, he's just a baby guy. He hit it right there. I don't keep track, to be honest. Keep track of the big fish, but not these little guys. We call these dinks. Yes, dinks. And you try to be very careful about removing the hooks out of them because, big hook, I mean, it is a big hook. You don't want to hurt them. So when you remove the hooks from them, you're very careful. Um, you want them to grow up or feed bigger fish. That's unfortunately most of them will become food for bigger fish. But these are feeder fish, I mean, the big fish will come over here and hit them. And another reason why you really don't know what's going to happen at the end of your line, what size fish, what's going to this is a guaranteed fishing spot. I always catch fish here. Oh, there. Did you see the blow up? All right, here he comes. Not a big one, but, hey, this little guy, third of a pound. But fun nonetheless. Here he is. Oh, sorry, guy. Toss you, drop you. But you got to see the blow up, the reel in. That's kind of fun. And that's kind of what you want. Yeah, that's what I want to do on the channel. You guys should see me catch fish too. Again, this is just all top water with a simple little wake bait, straight retrieve, 2 mile, gear two, just fairly medium, just a steady medium retrieve. Very casual. Very casual. But it's fun to see a good blow up like that. It is fun to see a good blow up when they jump on it. So, I mean, a lot of times they'll trail behind it, and that's why you see the wake, and they sneak up on it. But sometimes they just see it above them, and they just jump on it. That's called blow up. There's so many fish over here. So many fish over here. These are the days when I catch 50, 60, 70 fish, you know. And then people, yeah. I don't want people to feel bad too when, they've caught two or three. So when they ask me, I just say, "Oh, I had a good day. It was fun." And they ask me how many, and I says, "Well, I caught quite a few." I don't want to give them a number because, to be honest, I don't keep track. I don't keep track of how many fish I catch. We have a really nice guy out on the lake. He'll yell out the numbers of his fish. He's a funny guy. 32, 42. And I'll just yell out a number at him just to be annoying. He'll say 42, I'll say 43. Oh, there we go. There's a little guy. He just sort of trailed behind it. He's just a baby. That's a little guy. He's probably as big as the lure. He is. Oh, you little. You really got to control your appetite. Okay, this is my smallest one so far today. You guys will you guys will love this little guy. My thumb does not fit in its mouth. There he is. He is a beautiful largemouth, though. I mean, he really is he's got all the perfect markings on him. Look at that. He's an aggressive little guy. Hopefully, he'll survive. More than likely, he's going to be food for some other fish, German brown or another largemouth. He's just, all I did was delay his inevitability. He's more like a sardine. Oh my God, he's about the same size as the bait. Funny, funny little guy. I mean, what's he gonna do with a fish this big? I mean, he's trying to eat a fish that can probably, he'll choke to death. You guys can see this reel in. This is when you get a big blow up and you guys can't see it. You try to follow the tip of my rod. See the splash? Follow the splash to the tip of my rod. Hopefully, we'll see a good. This is encouraging, though, guys. All these topwater hits. We're going to go over to the northern part of this lake. It's real shallow. And so we're going to pull up anchor. And then we're going to head to the northern part of the lake here. An area I've never fished. So That gives me a distinct disadvantage. That's what a fish finder's for. And side imaging. Maybe I can see something, some nice cover, off to the sides. There you are. All right, let's see what we got. This is a baby little fish. That last one up. Good morning, crazy. Emily, hi, Carl. All right, so while we're trolling out here, I always like to, I always love to put a bait in the water. So I do have some new baits that I painted. We're still testing. And this one's, I call this my confetti bait. Just all these different colors I stuck on it, and it kind of looks like confetti. It doesn't dive very deep, very shallow dive. Okay, steer my boat problem there. But if you're wondering, that is the wake bait we were using. That's the little itty bitty wake bait. Uh, well, this is a thin bill, um, and I call it my graffiti, my confetti, because it kind of looks like confetti, right? It kind of does. So I painted it with all these different colors and speckles, spots with a white belly. That's actually, sort of a pearl white belly. So it only has one hook on it. Doesn't have a trailing hook, which is, well, it's pretty different for me anyway. And for most crankbaits, I mean, you always have two hooks on a crankbait, typically. But this crankbait only has one hook. We're just going to cast it out here. And we're going to casually, sort of casual. It does have a rattle in it. And we're going to go past the swim area. We have a designated swim area. I'll put my glasses on, but as soon as I put my glasses on, I can't see the screen because of the polarization of the glasses. Then I can't see, and then I think you guys turned off. You just left. So, so we're going to go the northern part. Now, I've been told there's some really good spots over here. What is interesting over here is this week, or this last week, a young boy caught a 2.5 pound spotted bass here. Now, we don't have spotted bass. That was the first recorded catching of a spotted bass in our lake. So somebody planted spotted bass in our lake. And I don't like that because the spotted bass will eventually encroach upon the smallmouth bass and they'll start eating them. Now, I don't mind them eating all the little baby largemouths because we have a lot of largemouths, but the largemouths can fend for themselves against the spotted bass. But the spotted bass is similar to a smallmouth. So I'm a little annoyed that somebody took it upon themselves to introduce a new species into our lake. I mean, that just doesn't happen. We don't have spotted bass in this area. And so somebody, probably went to Shasta Lake in California where they have zillions of them and brought some up here. And I find, well, it's kind of presumptuous, don't you think? You don't introduce a new species to a lake unless, the Department of Wildlife does it, which, tiger trout is a common species. Control different other species because they're very aggressive and they're illegal to keep once you catch them, right? Because they're there for population control. This is a swim area where we've roped off. This for swimmers. there's some lily pads I think you see up here. What we're going to do, we're going to go over to those lily pads, and we're going to try that frog. It's a black frog with fluorescent yellow on it. I mean, kind of evil looking. Ah, headache. Did have my coffee. Did have coffee, but maybe I need a lot more coffee. An energy drink or something. Caffeine helps headaches a lot. There's another solution, but yeah, you can't do that. You need it. You need another thing. Again, I've never fished this part of the lake. I go usually straight over to the west shore and work the bass over here better. So we're at 3 feet of water. So 3 feet, that's what we're at right now. That's not much. That's not a much water. But I can see the bottom. It's rocky. Um, so not a lot of vegetation here. So the likelihood of a largemouth, but smallies and the spotted. So this is the area, the northern part of the lake is where that spotted bass. If we catch a spotted bass, I'll keep it. Um, try to keep them from breeding. So if we catch a spotted bass, I'll put it in my live well. I do not want spotted bass in this lake to proliferate. Nope, nope, no. Yeah, those are lily pads right there. So we're going to work these lily pads. Should be some good largemouths up here. Yeah, cool. I never worked these lily pads before, so always gone to the very southern end, which are great lily pads. Okay, 2 feet deep. The good thing that this is just a shallow dive, but I got my tip up, speed at a modest rate of speed, with under 2 miles, 2 miles an hour. But again, no vegetation. We had vegetation right here. I would have pulled in my reel. 2 feet deep. That's what we're at. I'm gonna work these lily pads up here. Okay, so again, I'm not familiar with this area, so yeah, we are going to lift this engine just a little bit as we get closer to the lily pads. No bite on this little guy. So much for a party, party, party. They pick up some grass. Okay, we're gonna lift the engine just a little bit. It's almost gonna cavitate. Just subs. The engine's really shallow. That's a cavitation. You're gonna hear a little bit. We're gonna come over here to these lily pads. Then we're gonna put this frog on. We're gonna work it. We're gonna work the lily pads. 1.8 feet. Still safe. Our this boat only has about a 5-inch draft, so but it's really the weeds and stuff wrapping around my engine. That's my prop. That's what drop the anchor. Get us all right, good. So now secure this up. All right, so then I want you guys to see the lily pads. Those lily pads we're going to be fishing. We are going to put a frog. I'm very excited to try. Frog, right? I mean, I love a good frog. Who doesn't? All right. So, uh, sorry, guys. All right. So, I want you to see this frog. So, there's the frog. Kind of crazy looking, huh? But notice that the hooks have sort of an indent on it, which is pretty kind of interesting. It does have a flat nose to it and a soft body. So, soft body frogs can be, well, hugely challenging. Um, so, we're going to put you guys. Let me see if I can see. Okay, we're gonna work these lily pads. So basically, you just sort of pop it. You know, oh, there was something there. You see it in that little opening there. The frog. They jump right through lily pads. Bass do. They'll just jump right through the lily pad. Oh, there. Oh, you see you saw the explosion, right? He followed it right to the edge of the lily pads. All right, all right. He didn't really get it though. Just sort of swimming it on top. Trick about these is not setting the hook right away. He's got good swim. It looks good. So initial looks, is good. Now when he's stuck in, see, you use really strong braid line too. She's just pulling it through weeds, and they love to dive underneath all of that. So immediately, as soon as you set that hook, you got to get them up on top of the lily pads. You can't let them tangle themselves up in the lily pads. Fishing. Lily pad fishing is exciting. It's like hunting a lion in the forest. You really do have a big forest. It's a great blue heron. Sorry about the sun, guys. Cast down the lily pads. Bring it all the way across them. I slow retrieve in the open water there. Jump it over. It looks good. Let's see how much water this is taking in. Not much. Always a good sign. Means they sealed it up nicely. New area for me to fish. there's no vegetation over here, you know, in the open. So I can get something over here. There's some cover. Sorry, you guys aren't faced this way. I just want to see. This is my Shimano outfit. SLX rod and reel. XT reel. Back to hop it. And I sort of bob it, you know, when I sort of jiggle my rod. Fish this area. And I'm sort of bobbing its head. Another reason to have a really good pole, it's light. It allows you to transfer any kind of finesse you work on. We'll do a little stop and start. And that's basically, I mean, you got to keep an eye on it because you got to delay your hook set. It really has really good play. This frog looks really good in the water. Kind of weird. I've never done a black frog before, so I wish they gave me something a little more green. Black with fluorescent green on it. It's an interesting color choice for them to get put in the box. Maybe it was one that didn't sell very well. I don't know. Yeah, get something that's really give it a good review. Yeah, it's got good potential. And again, I've never really fished these lily pads, so probably make our way over to my other lily pads. Just trying to get good disturbance in the water. Okay, so we're gonna I'm gonna switch this over to another topwater lure that I've got, and it's a Lunkerhunt Spider. I love the Lunkerhunt Spider. I've caught fish on it. It's one of the best topwater lures. What do you think? Bye. I'm going to put spider on it. Take this guy off it. Now, I do like this guy. Don't get me wrong. I mean, jury's out still. But again, it might just be the color. It might just be that there's just not that many fish here. Um, reason you have all these different colors is some work some days, some work some other. So this right here is my lunker hunt spider. Yes, it looks just like a spider. All right, but they work really good, and they look creepy. They walk on top of the water like a real spider. Lots of disturbance with the 8 legs. I just love the way it looks on the water. It looks so cool. It just looks like a real spider. If you just want a toy. Oh, thought I saw something. A lot of times they'll hit it right on the drop. You got to be ready for it. Keep the tip. Oh, keep the tip up. Thought I saw a couple small disturbances. I just love this bait. Yeah, that is just a cool looking bait. It's just a cool looking bait. Oh, oh, that was a bite. That was a bite. Wasn't quite ready for it. And these spiders do take on water. So you got to squeeze them every once in a while. Every few casts. Try to get them to float and stuff. Right, you got to keep the tip up. But this is the softest plastic bait I have. And it's the easiest hook set for a soft body. Oh, I saw a wake on an adjacent lily pad. Sometimes you can see a lily pad move next to it, telegraph the fish. I don't know. I wonder if there's any more lily pads on the north side. All right, we're going to leave these lily pads. They're really not as productive as the ones on the southern end. But I am very impressed with that new bait. Let's see, let's get you guys to face me. Okay, guys. All right, I'm gonna pull up with the anchor, 1 foot of water. To keep me from drifting in. I'm going to move or cavitate a little bit as we get out of here. Cavitation is when the prop breaks the surface of the water. And so, yes, until I get into like 2.5 feet of water. Transducer thinks you're sitting on top of something. That sounds useful. All right. I'm going to lower this just a little bit. Get down into the water. Tile in, make sure it doesn't get caught up. All right, now we can go a little faster. Um, since I've never fished this area, I'm just going to sort of spot it out a little bit. Side imaging is not going to work at 2 feet of water. But the good thing is you can actually see in 2 feet of water easily. We have about 12 to 14 feet visibility. This is really shallow. If I fall out of the water here, I'm probably going to be stuck in mud, but I ain't going to drown. I do have my PF kit. The one thing I always, I would love to do, I need to put like an automatic cutoff on this motor. So if I do fall out, it does, my boat doesn't, you know, roll away from it. I'm gonna hook up my battery, my phone to my battery. Hang on. And the nice thing about having a power center. Just hook up with that so we have more power. So again, not a bad area. I mean, it's really not a bad area to try what's hot water. My wake bait again. I mean, it's just so shallow here. But there's no, I mean, what I would expect is perhaps what I would expect out here is maybe a smallmouth, but again, that spotted bass was caught out here. So again, I want to catch, I would love to remove the spotted bass from our lake. So we're going to just troll this topwater, but we have to troll really slow. I just I put my glasses on, but then again, I can't see you guys, but then I can't see you right now. We're just going to control really, really slow, but we're also going to sort of survey the area a little bit because again, looks like we have some more lily pads over here. I don't see any blooms on them. See if I can get a better look at it. We're at 3.5 feet now. Ooh. I always like to have a line in the water, even if it's useless. But you never know, right? You just never know. It's the pelicans. Water's really glassy right now. Over here, it's just like no ripple. I mean, it is just, I'm the only thing breaking the water's silence, stillness. Yeah, those are lily pads. Let's go over there and see. Keep an eye on the depth. And I don't know the contours of this part of the lake. And we've gone down in water volume. Good foot. Uh, Boy, I don't see any fish moving either. It's probably why I don't fish this side of the lake too often. You know, in the very northern portion of this lake. I mean, there's no vegetation. Uh, I head over to the Boy Scouts area. There's always fish over there too. This is interesting. I mean, again, I guess I should have explored this before now. Been fishing this lake for years, but just never saw any need to come over. People never really caught much over here until that spotted bass. Um, uh, I- as- the reason the rudder's not working very well is because I'm not very deep in the water. I'm going to drop this a little deeper so I can get my rudder to work better. Okay. It's only halfway in the water, but up to number 2. And I really don't have a lot of high hopes for that top water. My wake bait behind me. You'll wake up something far away at it. So I'm starting to see some vegetation right now, not much. Low-lying vegetation. Nothing to really hide that. It's almost like the dead part of the lake, you know? Right, right there to the right is going to be the employee housing. A lot of the employees live on property. Little bit of vegetation, not much. We're at 3.5 feet of depth. Still, I haven't seen any signs of life down there. I mean, usually you see something, perch. Maybe like a little bit. There really isn't much over here. Yeah, I think I see some reeds and whatnot over here. You can check them out. And we're kind of exploring just a little bit up here. I mean, a lot of it. Side, but only proud up there for the moment. Now I can see you. I brought my binoculars. I expect to do some scouting today, but we'll get back to catching fish in about 15 minutes. We get over here. Yeah, we're just sort of cruising this area. Curiosity. I've never been over in this part of the lake. I always just cut this part off for a good reason, evidently. Well, I never hear anybody catching anything over here until this last week, and the kid got that 2.5 pound spotted. So you just don't know. I mean, why they came over here? I don't know. Pelicans, buried waterfowls, some bald eagles, lots of ospreys. Our lake is like an osprey. Yeah, out of the fish eagles, because you got the golden, you got the balding, you got the osprey. Out of those three, the osprey's probably the prettiest out of the three. It's the smallest of the three, not by much, but it's the smallest of the three. And but it is the prettiest. It's just got more patterns, more colors. The plumage is prettier. It's just a better looking bird. These are Canada geese. I mean, look at this lake. Look at it right now. Just beautiful. This is beautiful right here. We're at 4.7 feet. We'll stick with my topwater wake bait behind us just because I don't know. You're going to lose. That bottom is going to pop up on me or not. Still not a lot of vegetation. It's really low lying vegetation in the water. I mean, you can see it. And that's another thing, an indicator. You want rocks, you want hard bottoms. This is all soft bottom. So a lot of fish, it's like the dead part of the lake. A lot of fish don't like soft bottoms. One, they're not going to put their eggs there. Um, they require shallow, hard bottoms, or some hard surface for them to put their eggs. So rocks and trees and stuff like that. Um, they need something. They need a surface. But this is all soft, mushy. Just you drop something in it, it would just disappear. Okay, now I'm starting to get some higher vegetation scattered. A lot. Head over to this dock. I gave some residents dock that never got put in front of their house. And we're starting to see some higher vegetation set. And I kind of expect that because as we get closer to the Boy Scout camp, yeah, we're going to get more vegetation. We're going to slow down just a little bit. You get that wake bait at its proper speed. Right now, we're over grass. Where there's grass, you got a forest underneath us right now. It's awesome. And then we're kind of out in the middle here. Look, there's some just small little lily pad islands right there. There's a lily pad island over there. Fish finder is picking up the fish, but that's kind of normal in the grassy areas. They say hi, fish hide. I don't blame them. But again, they're ambushers too. So little feeder fish will come through and get them. We have good vegetation there. We finally got grass. But it's weird. It's like the northern part of this lake is just all soot. It's just a dead area. Just dead. Which is good. Good to know. I ain't going back. We're going to work our way. It's 3 miles down. So, you know, slowly work our way 3 miles to the southern portion of the lake. And ain't no rush. You get down to those good lily pads. And it gets hot in the lake. There, the sun beating down on it, the fish will start to find cover and shade. And the lily pads, on a good hot day, become very productive. So, I mean, they're good in the morning too. Don't get me wrong, but we're not going to get down there this morning. Vegetation back to a desert oasis. Desert. There's muck on the bottom. Go over to where those down trees are over here. Again, I've never fished this part, so we're gonna try something. Here comes a duck. Work these let's say we do have some vegetation topside there. Again, that's real shallow. It's really yucky. Yeah. Okay. All right. Try some top water right there. See what happens. See some lily pads and stuff over there, but it's really too far in for me. lily pads here. Let's sort of avoid those for the moment. See if we can get some top water hits here. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, oh my God. He's big. He's big. You gotta bring him in slow. Oh, he came off. He dropped. It was only about 2 pounds. Because this is a really light tackle. Real light tackle. With light tackle, you just got to be much more uh, through it at the weeds. It makes all the difference in the way they work. You just get a leaf on it. Try to reel that in faster. 6 pound test. So it's like, oh, there we go. Oh, it's a little guy. But, you know, not too bad. Little half pounder. Go. Little guy. Good fish over here. It's like a 1.5 pounder, half pounder. We're gonna break out the top water and work these lily pads. And we're sort of working the middle of it here. I'm gonna break out the spider. So makes me almost want to try that frog again. Well, let's try the spider since it's already on there. Try the spider. Love the spider. Get the spider to walk on the water. It's tough. You really need a good angle on it. Oh, that was a bad cast. Now you work it. You see what happens. This is a pretty light spider for this rod too. It's a 1/4 ounce. Then we'll go to the frog because the frog will stay on top of the water better. That's a big engine on the back of that house. There. I'm going to switch this over to that frog. I really think there's a better area to see the effectiveness of this frog. We're put that frog on it. And we'll know. We're going to know. And the effectiveness of this frog. That's that engine. I do like the frog. We just need to catch something with it. Not scaring the ducks. I like the way it walks because you can walk it. So far, my wake baits have been much more productive than the soft bodied stuff. You gotta be ready too, boy. As soon as it hits the water, you gotta be ready for a hook set. Yeah, I'm not real impressed yet. Oh, that's where I wanted it. Just looking around me. Figure out a good spot. I'm gonna cast right in between this wood right there. That's where I wanted it. This gotta be some. I'm just gonna slowly jig it a little bit, lock it on the top. All right. I really want. I'm gonna give this guy a good shot. So, with the eager. Head over here a little bit farther. There's an overhanging tree, all fell tree there. I'm gonna give this top water a little bit of shot over here. I mean, we know my wake baits work. It's really good possibilities. I just need a good hit on it. Need a good hit. Look at the water. It's gorgeous. Good cover. Look, what did I do? Okay, don't do that. Push the button when you cast, Mike. I don't think I've ever done that before. You guys didn't see it. You didn't see it. It does walk. This this bait has all the characteristics of a fantastic soft body. It's good. It doesn't take on water. It's good soft stick. Hooks look like they're in a good spot. And until I catch something, it'll be hard for me to tell. Turn me a little bit. We get 6 feet of water here, Steve. Come on. Good pop. Come on. Let's get an explosion. If I throw my wake bait off this perimeter, I bet you I catch something. Gotta be that. Try not walking it. Just straight. That's great cover. Right position the boat. That is a great tree. If I was a bass, I'd live under that. All right, so I know there's bass down here. Go back to my wake bait. Why? Because it just works. We're just going to work the perimeter here. Wonderful habitat. And we'll catch some. Right? Right. What am I going to do? Oh, saw a fish jump. See if we can get his attention. One a very big one. A lot of times these little baby ones, they'll break surface. You gotta almost shift your own gears when you switch rods and baits. You gotta remind yourself, okay, you're not doing a softball. You're back to doing hard. Really good waft right here. It's a great ambush area for this. That one bass was taking out my lead pretty good. Comes to my another favorite spot of mine. over to the others. Favorite spot here. But, right in this area here, good top water. A lot of vegetation. There's a lot of cover. There's a bunch of cover is just debris, rock, rocks, and wood, stuff like that. Fancy name for it. So let's see what we can get over here. Usually get something. And sometimes decent size. We're sticking with top water. Because top water's more fun. Maybe if I throw a chatterbait or something like that, get some more stuff too. So we're just gonna have fun today. Oh, there we go. That's a little baby one. I expect bigger over here. But you know what? It just works, my wake bait works. You know, people wonder, okay, if Microfino's baits really work. My baits really work. My baits really work. Yeah, I hope they're hoping for bass. I'm catching no trout over here, that's for sure. Again, know your species and how to catch. Water temperature tells you a whole bunch. I have a good video on water temperature. Little pontoon boats is there. What are you fishing for? Good morning. What are you fishing for? Well, this is a good spot. Trout is deep. Trout is in the middle of the lake, about 30 feet down. Right over here, you'll catch some largemouth. Yeah, I've caught about 20. Try some top. If you have a topwater bait, just try topwater bait. They're hitting topwater. Yeah, I've caught about 20 off the top. Both. But over here, it's a largemouth. East side is the smallmouth. Give it a shot. What do you got to lose? I mean, I've caught 20 or so. Give or take. Get closer to the shore too, lady. And, yeah, that boat. Big old pontoon. You got to stay 100 feet from shore. Part of the rental agreement. Which gives me all the shoreline. We only caught one dink over here, so I'm gonna switch my top water. Yeah, we're gonna stick with top water. So I'm gonna switch this over. I'm gonna take this guy off, and we are going to put a dip top water on it. We are going to go this gold one. Bigger. It's a bigger bait, but it's got a. This thing really has a good shake on top. Got a good solid rattle on it. It almost looks motorized. The way this thing works on the top of the water. So it's kind of cool. But it has a really good disturbance to it. And it doesn't look like much, but it works. You don't have to reel it fast. The thing just shakes, rattles, and rolls. Look at that. No, you guys can see that thing shake. That thing works its butt like a hula dance. It's my hula dance. And you have to pull this guy real hard. He shakes just fine. love the way this thing looks. Oh, I think he's caught up on himself. So you really a little slow. There's so much back action. Yeah, I think it almost looks like a bug, you know, in the water. I'm gonna move. Nice thing about working top water, I mean, you can just glide over everything underneath it. The water. This tree right out here on the right, um, actually is one of my favorite trees, officially sticking up out of the so, put this motor a little farther down into the water now that we're in, well, we're not in deep water, but we're in deeper water. It gives me more rudder to deal with. Plus, don't cavitate if I decide. We have some fish after us right here. This thing is just a wild thing. Almost looks like a cicada. We don't have those here, but yeah, this thing worked really well back east, especially the way I painted it. Got more rudder in the water. Okay, we're going to control this thing behind us a little bit. You should be able to see an explosion if we get a hit. That's until we get over to this other spot. A little faster, get some splashing. See what happens. I wonder if it, you know, the splashing actually get something. God, I love the action of this bait. What a bone. I hate this one. Super easy. Oh, why this is oh, this is a thin bill. Also, right? Morning. Really long tree down here as well as other trees. I'm going to see if we can't fish it from the shore out. See if we can't get something to pull up. I always have to watch out because it's pretty shallow. That log is the motor can hit it easily. So I don't mind that. That's a good 7-foot tree that held there. I'm running a long ways here. Something, anything might be underneath it. It's like my wake bait has been the best bait so far. Now, this is a pretty good looking bait. Forgot who made it. I think maybe Robusto. No, somebody else. I'm gonna try one of my tail spinners. I just put a new one in this box. My tail spinner. Basically, it's a type of whopper plopper, except I paint the tail, and it doesn't have the same surface agitation as you would expect, but it does make a wake. Yeah. Does look cool. Gets more fishermen, I guess. And this is more of a topwater day, just because it's my first real topwater day this season. And I like topwater. Well, everybody does. Or if I walk over, just creating a splash like a popper, that would increase the chances of this particular bait. So good. Needs to get some caffeine sooner than later. Much later. It took me hours to get back. 8:30. My goodness. It go with a shallow diving bait. I'm gonna troll this thing. Let's see it back there. Green spot on there. Really want to catch something with it. Roll it up to my next spot. I'm gonna go with side imaging now. Sort of a composite view. So much cover to my right. See if I'm missing anything to my left too. This is where side imaging can pay off really well. And we'll try a spook. Robusto did a good job on this one spook. Like using KVD red hooks. I like this color better than the one I got in this month's dark horse tackle. I mean, he did a good job, with this one. Clear water wants clear, bright lures. So we're just going to try this guy on my medium light. That should be interesting. This was a slow walk. Just walk. We're just walking. walking this bait towards us. Nice big tree down here. Hoping to hook something out from under it. Lots of trees here under the water. Just twitch the tip. I mean, I'm barely moving my finger to get that tip to twitch. I mean, it's a beautiful thing about carbon fiber rods as opposed to graphite rods. There's much more action at the tip, the faster tips. And when you're walking a bait, this is really nice to have, is a fast action tip because it's the tip that walks the bait. So the more you can get that tip to move, the better the walk and less stress on your hands. That was just really working my index finger. And again, that's what happens with walking baits too, is that sometimes you walk it a little too aggressively and you catch your own line. All right. Like we can't fix that. There's try a crankbait or deeper water now. I mean, not too deep, but there's a hard drop off here. We could go back to a square. So we get back down to the shallows again. Well, let's do that. Let's go to a square bill. So we get back down to the shallows again. Is this is the west side of this lake isn't as shallow as the east side of the lake. Oh, oh. Now this isn't really my square bill, but these are new square bills. So I'm gonna try one with tail spinners. Why? Because tail spinners add more cuts. Also, they catch bigger fish. It elongates my bait. Out for debris for shore. Now this particular S curve square bill can dive very deep. You wouldn't think it. It could. Silver and gold. Easily. See it. There it is. I don't know fish what's right now. And in order to keep this from getting all this debris down here, we're just going to really bring it in slow with the tip up. We're trying to get it as shallow a dive as possible for this particular bait. Normally, you don't worry about a square bill diving deep, but something about this S curve causes it to do that. Again, you just sort of be patient with it. It's doing its job down there. You just gotta let the fish come to you. Directly across the lake from the beach. We might head over to the marina and get some caffeine for my headache. We'll do that. Well, we're going to do a deep diving lure on my way over. God, that's beautiful lure. It really is beautiful. I wish I could take some underwater shots of my lures. That would be really awesome. You know, we'll go round it all the way back. These can dive very deep, depending on my trolling speed. So this 20-pound grade, so it don't break. It has a lot of action. You get after it by 15 feet of water before it goes to sleep. It's not, we're only in 10 feet of water, but I'm going to ring it in slow until we get to 15. We'll speed us up. I saw a fish jump, so I just don't listen. We got a lot of vegetation down too, so that of course brings up the bottom. The tip up. Just cruise under 2 miles. Feet. Faster. The deeper the water, the faster I control this. If I troll it too fast and shallow, I hit bottom and pick up all those weeds. Turn off my side energy and go multi radar. All right, so now we're at 35 feet. Now, what I expect is to grab a trout on the way back. So I'm going to let this thing dive pretty deep. There are trout down there at 25, 30 feet. So I might jump up and hit it. This does not have a tail spinner, but it's very bright. We got white, gold, and silver on it. It's beautiful bait. Got a jumper right in front of us, so let's see if he can ice him. Actually, not a bad size here either. Right over where he jumped. There are some fish down there. Not real shallow though. They're going to have to come up and meet. He fishes halfway. You have to meet me halfway. Our trout are all stock trout, so they are easily shot. There's a ton of trout down there. That'll be interesting. Let me do something. Let me put a deep diver on here. Get one, go way down there. We can fish that for about 10 minutes, I think, while we're in this deep part of the lake. It's only 50 feet deep. So I'm going to put a deep diver on here. This isn't really, this is a mid diver, but if you pull it fast enough, it can get down there. We are going to get my deep. These are my deep divers. Now you got to troll these slower. They go really deep. Look at that one. It's big. What do you think? German brown, maybe? German browns love feeding off of these this thing has so much action. We have to troll it slow. I love this bait. It's a very popular bait for me to paint. This is not one of mine. It actually is a Sixth Sense. It would be nice to find this bait, this blank though. There's a lot of fish below us though. We really got to go slow on this baby. As it's going to want to dive and it has a ton of wobble. We're on a, we're basically, my trolling motor's on one. And you can see the wobble on my, yeah, this is my medium heavy, so you can handle it. 20-pound test. If we get something on this one, it'll be big. We've got a bunch of fish going over right now at 35 feet. Let's see, this thing doesn't go that far. We go a little faster, we can get it down to 30 feet. I don't know. This is my deepest diving. It can go to 30. Such a big bait. Ain't no small fish gonna get this bait. That's for sure. Oh, this is a stupid bass. Oh, there's a bite. Come on, you guys can do it. Gotta hold on to this rod tight. We're at 50 feet depth, so you know that wasn't bottom. That was a fish. Nothing on radar right now. We got us 2 or 3. Big one down there. That's probably German brown. See if he can be coaxed up to hit mine. German browns are biggest fish in the lake. We can get to 30 inches. That's a big fish. Looks like we get it to well, fast as I can control this bait. You're coming across the school of fish. So you can get a good reaction bite. They're not real big, but just trout. I did a lot of legal size trout. I was scared to death of this thing. Maybe I'll foul hook one. Cast them. I mean, it's a big bait. This is one of my biggest baits. It's another spool. About 5 minutes, we'll be in the shallower portions, and we'll have to pull this bait off. A lot of fish right here, bro. A lot of fish. Hi again. You know what? It's been very productive this morning. A couple dozen. Yeah, I'm gonna head down after my break, head down to the south end. I always catch 30 or 40 down there, so oh, it's perfect. Perfect. I can get a German brown. And typically mornings are not good German brown times, but I could catch that big one on a morning. They love to feed off of these smaller trouts. So I'm really hoping this giant bait becomes very seductive to a German brown belt. They like to dive. Browns are like wing cod when you catch it. They don't come up, they go down. They fight you. That's the school. bottom starting to come up a little bit. 37 feet now. We were at 50. It's glad we could. I got this. Uh, 6 feet. Half half the depth we were at. So we're doing that seriously down a bit. We have to switch it because we're about to come up to the bottom and we're just going to have to go away from the deep divers for the moment. You reel this thing up, it feels like you got a fish on it. So much action on this thing. It is just a lure, but a fantastic lure. Facing. I think we'll go with one of mine. Those are 6 cents. Ooh, which one? Which one? Which one? How about a craw? Round bill. Everybody knows. I mean, fish love eating crawdads. But there. Just until we get to the marina. Oh, this one you don't have to roll fast. We do a good job at, to sort of take our time as we get to the marina. Coming in smallmouth bass territory here. This is all smallies, so if we catch something over here, it'll more than likely be a smallmouth bass. This is a good sized bait, 3-inch bait. Hopefully, a bigger smallie. Hopefully. I'll feed that. 10 feet. It's all rocky bottom here. This is where we usually, again, it's smallmouth area. When we dock, we'll turn you guys off and we'll get back on later. I'm gonna break with some caffeine in my head. We should be knocking rocks in a sec. Slow it down a little bit and with the tip up. This this is about as this is shallow for this bait. Nothing wrong with knocking on rocks. Baits are designed for it, absolutely. There's a fire hydrant down there. Look at that. I don't think I ever noticed the fire hydrant. There's a fire hydrant underwater. Isn't that a little counterintuitive? Oxygen. Fire hydrant underwater. Hey, Larry. Good morning.
All right, what's the haul today? What we got?
Oh, a couple dozen so far.
Nice.
I don't really keep track, but
Well, I'm not like, what's the big one you got? What do you think?
oh, a pound and a half.
None too worthy.
Well, actually, he was a fun one. Got him top water.
Oh, that's awesome.
In fact, almost everything I caught today was top water.
Oh, I'll let everyone know.
Yeah, top water's fine.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful. But I've been live streaming all morning, so.
Apparently Matt called out today.
Oh no!
Yeah, sick, and so did the other guy.